Hello and welcome to Garrett Farms. We're back with another episode of Westby, Wisconsin, and we have been a little bit busy since last episode. We've gotten this first patch of oats all but harvested. I think we've got just a little bit left here down at the other end of the field. So we're going to run the grain cart down here and see if we can get the oats out of the combine as we finish up the corner here. And then we're going to get the combine going on another field and figure out how we're going to rake up all of this straw here and hopefully bale it. I think we've got some balers installed on this particular save, so we'll head up to the shop and see if we can purchase a baler. We'll probably run with some small bales here. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them because I don't know if we want to be doing solid manure on this map or if we're going to do slurry with the dairy farm. Either way, it makes sense to capture all of this product here. We do have a rake purchased, so we'll do that and see how it goes here. If we hop in here, we're at 44% of our hopper full, so we've got plenty of hopper space here to finish out this corner. So I guess I'm gonna actually let him get going on that, and we'll just drop this gravity wagon right here on the headland, and we can always come back up and get this once the combine's done. We're gonna take this 4240 over here and grab the rake and start raking up some of this straw. So we got this awesome new Holland Rolabar rake here from Jono over at 46 Mods, I believe is his new name here, and we're going to be giving this a shot. So this comes as one mod pack, but each of these rakes is a separate mod, and then we've got the rake bar here to kind of connect them and run them staggered like this. There's also a different connector that'll allow you to just run them side by side. But this seemed to be a little bit more fun. I actually used to see a farmer that had a setup kind of like this, so I've been kind of curious to try it out since I saw it on Jono's itch.io page, and I'm trying to figure out how to get this out of here without running into our tillage tool. It does have kind of a wide swing and everything kind of moves and turns at its own way here, so we're gonna try and sneak out here, swing a little wide. There we go, and this should be a lot of fun to try out here. I'm trying to figure out if there's a easy way to enable both of these rakes at the same time. I can't recall. I know in Farm Sim 19 there used to be a button that you could use to lower all of your implements at the same instant, and I don't recall what that is now. And it looks like our combine has gotten lost over here, so maybe I better get him going first here before we start the raking, just to make sure he's going, because this combine is going to be pretty slow, and I think we're going to catch up with him pretty quickly here. And so I think we can just finish off this last little bits ourselves and then go get him started on the next section while we do this raking job. And here we go. We've got the last little bits cleaned up here. Oh, it looks like I missed just a smidge up here. We can't let that go to waste, so I'm gonna run up here and grab that right quick. Now, I did install Courseplay since last episode, and I'm gonna be really curious to see how Courseplay works on some of the fields on this map, any of the fields on this map. They're pretty interestingly shaped fields, that's for sure. And so we're gonna empty this guy out, and then I think try and use Courseplay to go grab one more of these fields while we do this. I think I want to try this field up on top of the hill here. So while we're unloading, let's take a quick look at the helper map here. I believe it's field 38 that has some more oats in it. So if I change to Courseplay field work mode, we set our target position for somewhere right in here, and then I set my field position for somewhere right in there. Open the course generator. We'll do probably 3 headland passes. Oh, it didn't actually do anything. Maybe I need to pick, there we go, that's a little bit better. I guess it helps when you put the field point actually in the field. And we'll use the same settings here, and it looks like we've got a course. I do kind of wish it was going left and right here. I don't know why it's picking to go that direction. Let's try this again. There we go. I think that's a better looking course for us, even if there's a lot of turning around still. So we're gonna go ahead and head on up here and see if we can start that course. The pipe speed here is incredibly slow, so not so good for impatient me, but probably pretty realistic here. We'll get our course play window up here. We are going to make sure to start on the first waypoint so I don't accidentally grab an incorrect course. And it looks like we are going to start in a little bit of an odd place, but that's all right. I'm going to jump in here and just take out this section right by the telephone pole, kind of get us lined up by the waypoint. And I can't recall if I need to turn on straw in course play, but we'll see if it's working here. It is, so I'm good to go, and I'm happy with that. Let's give this a chance to work, see how well course play is gonna handle this. We'll keep an eye on it from over here while we're raking. All right, we're back up here in the 4240, and we're going to tab through some of this. I think I need to just lower it. I don't think I have to turn it on. It is not powered, and so I'm going to lower both of these sections, and it looks like they're now raking. And so let's just see how this goes. It looks like we're getting the straw and tossing it into the center. Good deal. I'm not entirely sure how much straw we're going to get out of this field. It looks pretty thin, but also we have pretty small rows here, so ideally once we kind of get off of the headland area here, we're going to be able to pick up a couple of swaths of this and toss it into one pile rather than just kind of raking up the same one pile here. I think that part of that is just I'm trying to make sure we pick up all the scraggly bits here on the edge that we missed when we were harvesting, or not really missed, I guess I shouldn't say, but threw off into the grass here. Get all this cleaned up. If I miss any straw that's on the field, we'll just plow it under here, but if I leave some of the little bits on the side in the grass, they'll just be there all year round and kind of bugging me. So we like to keep the farm nice and tidy. Heading back down the other side of the field, we're finally starting to realize some benefits from using the rake here. We're getting two different swaths of straw piled up into one here, so that's good. I'm kind of wondering though if I should have set this up with both of the rakes going in the same direction and just thrown it into a pile, and then I could have come back up the other side and thrown that into the same pile and seen some efficiencies that way. That may be a more appropriate use of this style hookup. So we may actually switch that out, because I like to be efficient here as we farm. Try and sneak it down here and pick up some of this straw without running over any of the oats. Not exactly happy about putting it all into the grass here. We're gonna have to make sure we get this all picked up, but I do think we're gonna run up here to the shop and see if we can get this reconfigured for having both of these rakes go the same way. So give me a moment to head up to the shop here and switch this out, and we'll see if we can get this running just a little bit more efficiently here. All right, we've got this thing reconfigured, and I think it's going to work out just a little bit better. I'm not going to bother going back over the stuff that we already raked up, but we are going to carry on from here in this configuration and see how much better this works out for us. Look at that. I think that's going to work out perfectly. So let's downshift into a better gear to handle these crazy hills here. And we'll make one more pass around, and then we're going to go grab that gravity wagon and check on the combine and see how that's doing. I'm not worried about it getting full, but I do want to make sure we're not getting stuck on anything. I do have to say that I'm enjoying this a lot more. It's easier to keep an eye on everything, and we're able to run right over the straw swath that we're raking up and not have to worry about trying to space ourselves out. This is going to work out pretty good for us. I'm really happy about this. We're coming back on the end of this first pass here. Everything's working out great with this new configuration of the rake. So let's go ahead and I think see if I can move this headland pass up onto the actual field here, hopefully without making too much of a mess here. We're missing the turn slightly, but it looks like I'll at least get everything off of the grass, which is kind of my intention with doing this. And I'm just going to bring this all the way to the end here, I think, and then just stop with the rake, and we'll disconnect. I hate disconnecting and reconnecting machinery, but I don't think hooking that big 4955 with the duals on it up to the gravity wagon is gonna be very optimal. So we're just gonna put all of that there, and I think I can just hop out here and disconnect this right here. It shouldn't roll away, and we'll go get this gravity wagon. I think the combine's got to be heading back up towards us. I can see it up there on the hill, almost back to where it started, so that'll be a perfect chance for us to unload it on its way on the second headland pass here. We can unload on the go, and at that point we should have enough in this gravity wagon to justify taking it up to the bins. So let's check that out here. I'm still loving the manual transmission and the fact that this little 4240 is pulling hard up this hill with the half full gravity wagon. We're finally up to that 10 miles an hour. Oh, we're dropping back down here. I don't dare shift up into 8th. That power shift is gonna be kind of a kick here, and I like to have some momentum before we shift up into it, because the tractor always likes to bog down a little bit. But we get that huge jump in speed, very reminiscent of the real thing here. I remember bunking my head on the rear glass in the 4240 a number of times when I was farming as a younger man. So this is very nostalgic for me. I'm not surprised Courseplay is kind of being messy here in this sharp corner like this. We'll come back and clean this up at the end. Not a problem. We're gonna just get into position here. He's not as full as I was hoping he would be, I guess I'll say. So we'll have plenty of room to take everything that he's got here. See if I can find a gear to match his speed. Whoops, we dropped out of the cruise control here. Let me get back over. There we go. A nice 4 miles an hour. I guess it's more like 4.5. We're right in that awkward middle point where I'm either too fast or too slow. Always the fun of being the grain cart driver is trying to find the right speeds here. I think that's the sign that we have emptied the combine though. So we're gonna get turned off here, spin ourselves back around and head up to the farm. We've got all this grass over here. We're gonna have to get a mower set up here and get some grass mowed. I do want to get our animals going here shortly as well. We're gonna get a delivery of some dairy cows to the farm here soon. Probably next episode we'll be focusing on getting that dairy set up for the first time, and so we've got to do a lot of things to get things moving for that. We got to get some feed in place for them. And we've got to get the cows delivered, so lots and lots to do here. I suspect that for the first year here, we'll probably be trying to get some silage going in these staves pretty quick. We'll probably do a field with some haylage right out of one of these grass fields and just pick up that grass and toss it right into the silos here to make some haylage, get the cows some feed in the works. Now, let's see, if I recall, we need to kind of spin around here so that we're on the right side with the gravity wagon. Not a problem. We'll get going here. And as soon as we get these oats raked up off of this field that we just finished harvesting, we're going to need to get a tractor going on some tillage. I don't know if that needs some deeper tillage with the plow. We do have a, I think, 7-bottom plow that we're going to use for fields that need to be plowed, but we've also got a disc, and I've got a cultivator in the works that we may fire up here at some point. So we got to watch our money, but I also have a number of mods that are going to be set up really well for this series that different people have brought to my attention. So we'll see if we can bring some different equipment into this series over time and kind of grow the farm as we move through the seasons. So we got that all emptying. The auger's running here. Let's walk over here to the other side of our bin here. Kind of watch and see when the grain stops going in. And I want to see how much grain we got into this silo so far as a percentage. I'm not actually sure. We've got almost 14,000 liters in there. If we come in here to the construction menu, it looks like those hold about 422,000 liters. I'm sure that's a conversion into a reasonable bushel size, is why it's such an odd liter size, and I don't honestly know what the bushel conversion is off the top of my head, but needless to say, we're not going to have any problems getting all of our oats in there. I mean, we're already probably close to a quarter of the way done with the oats, so we'll not be worried about that at all. I am going to take this gravity wagon all the way back up here to the field, though, I think, and leave it on the end of the field and get back to raking up these oat straw. I think if we spin it back around here and just leave it right here on this little road, this will be a good spot for us to pick this back up. Toss some wood blocks behind the wheels, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And let's get this straw raked up. I'm really curious to get a baler going here and see how much straw we're actually getting off of this field. Inquiring minds want to know. And honestly, I just want to play with the hayloft feature on our dairy barn here. So that'll be a fun thing to check out here. So let's get back to it. Since I'm still on the outside here and we've got so little straw so far, I think I'm just going to fully rake over the section we already did, and then I'll spin around and quote-unquote do this right by throwing the next swath into the same swath that this one is creating. Now, as we come up to the end here, I think I'm supposed to lift these up as I spin around. However, I just haven't found a great way to do that as of yet, so we're just going to make a little bit of a mess here and not lift them up, leave a giant pile there on the end. Now, this isn't quite lining up as well as I'd hoped, so we're going to take a half a pass of this other swath and just to make sure we're getting everything thrown over here into the main swath that we just covered. I don't like to turn too much while we're driving with this thing because it leaves a little bit from the in-between of the rakes sometimes, so you do have to try and stay somewhat straight as you're doing this. And we're really going to hope that our baler is up to the task. We're kind of creating a mess, and actually there's a lot more straw there than I was anticipating, so we might have been better off to pay attention. Oh, it looks like I'm completely missing a row here. All right, we're gonna lift up here, I think, and head down and try and do a better job heading back up here. It's always interesting to try and be efficient until you start making a giant mess of things. So we're gonna turn right into here, get both rakes lowered, and try to gear down enough to get up this hill. Wow, it's pulling really hard here. There we go. Oh, we're gonna have to just take it slow until we get up the hill here. That's all right. There we go. It's a struggling, folks. So at this point, I'm questioning how efficient we've been with this rake and everything. We're kind of making a mess. We're kind of leaving a few strips here and there. Well, that's all right, I suppose. We'll get better at this, that's for sure. So we'll call it an experiment and play around with this a bit more in the subsequent fields. Hopefully this gets a little bit easier for us. It looks like our combine is back down here for round 3, so I think what we're gonna do is actually attempt to stop the worker here, and we'll empty it out, and actually we'll clean up the straggly bits down here, and then we'll empty it out, just so that we don't have to keep trying to dodge this a little bit of oats that's kind of bleeding into our path here. Plus, if I don't do it now, chances are I'll forget about it later, and we'll have this little bunch of oats at the end of our field all the way up until we get out here for tillage. And I know that that's gonna make me sad, so we'll get it taken care of. So if we can avoid smacking into the telephone pole. There we go. Just like that. Let's put our pipe out here and see that pipe coming out. nice and slow. I'm curious if I can actually line up on this thing without putting it into the cart. There, we did it. In cab and everything, first time. Even got a good view of the rear tank here. You can see the grain going down, almost empty. I'm really enjoying the interior on this. It is pretty well done. I'm just liking this mod altogether. So let's go ahead and jump out here and see if I can go to the last waypoint. I believe is going to take me to the point at which we were. Not sure why he's backing up here. There he is. Off on the third round. We're getting this done. Course plays are working great, and we've got a couple thousand liters of oats in here. Not enough to be near full. I can't quite hop up in there to see how much we've got. If I get up here and hop, it's nowhere near. I can't see it, so I mean 2,000, that's probably like 10% or something. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. We've raked this field about as well as we're going to get it at this point. We'll have our work cut out for us with the baler here, but I think that's going to be for next episode. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. If you are, hit that like button and subscribe for more Westby videos in the very near future. That's all for today. Kedrick out. So we've got this awesome Rolabar. Stupid tree. We're making a little bit of a mess here. Going into the ditch. Oh my goodness. We'll put that in the bloopers. We're almost around our first next pass here. My goodness.